Today on Gamepro, choose your starting level in Super Ghouls and Ghosts for the SNES. Virtual reality is a step closer to your living room. Watch the sun rise on the Dragster in Super Castlevania 4, and choose your opponents in Shatterhand. All this and tons more on Gamepro. Hello everybody and welcome to GamePro. I'm JD Roth and this is the only place you're going to want to be if you want the up-to-the-minute news, tips, tactics to make you the ultimate video game gonzo. You know that if there's a trick to make your game playing days better, we're going to find it and deliver the goods as fast as the Game Lab goofballs can crank it out. And who is our source of video game cart knowledge? I know you want to know. It's GamePro magazine. So what do you say? We bust a move down to SWAT World and see what's happening. I am out of here.
Secret weapons and tactics.
Hey, cool. I'm here with that hack-and-slash hero, Sir Arthur of Super Ghouls and Ghosts for the Super Nintendo. Now, while nothing is going to make the war against the ghoulies and the ghosties a piece of cake, here's a tip that'll make Sir Arthur's quest a little easier to tackle. See you later. You're going to need both controllers on this one, and we suggest the assistance of one of your buddies. First, enter the options screen from the title screen. Now move the cursor to exit. Next, you're going to want to use controller 2 and hold down buttons Start, Select, L and R simultaneously. And at the same time, take controller 1 and press Start. You can definitely see how a friend can come in handy here. But if you execute this trick correctly, you'll be zapped to a secret screen which will allow you to choose your starting stage or catch an earful of some slick-sounding songs and effects. Score 1 for Sir Arthur. Let's check that out one more time. To choose any game level you want, first enter the options screen from the title screen and then move the cursor to exit. Next, use controller 2 and hold down buttons Start, Select, L and R. Now you have to hold down all these buttons at the same time. Don't forget that. While you're doing all this with controller 2, take controller 1 and press Start. This move will land you right in the middle of a secret screen, which will allow you to choose your starting stage or run an awesome sound test. Hey, all you biker dude and dudettes out there are no doubt hard at play, cruising the highways and byways of Road Rash for the Genesis. Now, you know that in this hard-moving game, what you ride is real important. So we thought you might like to get your hands on a few passwords that'll put you on top of some of the heaviest metal action in the game. To start the game with a Ferrucci bike, enter 32673, 01R01, 011DO 35T7Q. Oh, what a wipeout! To roar to life on a Panda 750, enter 32674 02EA1 100ET 36RCN. Right hook. Go get 'em, finally. If you want to grease into the action on a Diablo 1000, enter 000 03231 0100J 479KT. Beautiful. Let's review those one more time to make sure you got it all. If you want to drive a Ferrucci, enter 32673 01R01 011DO 35T7Q. To choose a Panda 750, enter 32674 02EA1 100ET 36RCN. Oh, and finally, To ride that Diablo 1000, enter 000003231 0100J 479KT. Good luck. Oh, wipeout.
From Santa Monica, California, and I have a question that's intense. How do you defeat Judge Doom at the end of Who Framed Roger Rabbit for the Nintendo Entertainment?
Hey, as usual, this one's a piece of cake. Not a problem, dude. Check it out. Once you make it to Judge Doom, use your bombs and exploding cigars to weaken him. Then, using your wind-up punch, trap him against the wall and let him have it in the face. All right. Beautiful. After you knock him out the first time, grab the dip gun from the top of the truck and spray him till he's nothing more than a toon puddle. Good work, and thanks for the question. Now remember, if you got a question, do not be shy. Fire it in. We'll do what we can to come up with the solutions. Stay tuned at the end of the show for the address. Next, secret tips for Impossible, Super Mario 3, and Bases Loaded 2. Let's take a look at another sequel in an already popular series of video games. I'm talking about Dragon Warrior 3 for Nintendo, the latest episode in the Dragon Warriors battle against the Lizards. And this time, we're going back to the beginning. That's right. In the Dragon Warrior 3, we travel back to the past to participate in the birth of one of the greatest lizard-womping sagas ever. Check it. The King of Eliahan explains how your dad, Ortega, disappeared down a crater in battle with Baramis, one of the biggest and baddest dragon beasties around. But what's worse, Baramis's buddies have been spotted crawling all over the countryside. Let these dragons run free, and world domination is just around the corner. So, what are you going to do, right? You're fatherless, you're afraid, but your crusade to avenge your father's death must begin. If you're going to succeed, you are definitely going to need a little help from your friends. You begin by recruiting 3 pals to join your mission. You can pick between a soldier, a fighter, a wizard, a pilgrim, a merchant, or my favorite, a goof-off. The trick here is to balance your team's fighting skills, defense, healing, magic, and luck. Now, if you choose wisely, you'll be all set for the trials and terrors to come. But now, here's the bad news. When you start off, all of your team members are going to be a bunch of weaklings. To crank up their levels of power, you're going to need to hit points, gain skills as quickly as possible. Now gather up your true strength. Pick up a little gold so you can buy the weapons and armor you'll need, and head off to nail those big green monsters with seriously big teeth. So far, so good. Now, once in battle, you'll discover that the menu-driven fighting sequences are very similar to those in Dragon Warriors 1 and 2, and pretty easy to use. This Dragon Warrior episode is a longer and tougher game than the earlier versions, and comes complete with a couple of fresh surprises you haven't seen before. Here's how we rated it. The overhead scrolling graphics are good, but they don't break any new ground. And the same can pretty much be said for the sound effects and music. You see, it's okay, but to be honest, we've heard better. Now, the challenge is there, though. This game will keep you busy for a lot of hours. The fun factor is enough to attract most anyone to the game. But if you're already a follower of the Dragon Warrior series, you're going to be in lizard breath heaven. Now, let's jam it to SWAT World.
Secret weapons and tactics.
If you've been playing Impossible on the TurboGrafx 16, hey, geez, you know it's tough being a rodent, let me tell you. We thought we'd give you a bonus password, which will let you burrow your way into the game at the alien planet stage. Yikes! To begin your game in the Alien Planet stage, simply get into the password screen and enter 9F5YYI5BGL1M. You want to see that one again? Here goes. 9F5YYI5BGL1M, and off you go. Isn't it fun being a rodent? Whoa! Next up, great tips for Super Mario 3 and Shatterhand, plus the final frame from Castlevania 4. Stay with us.
The Blockbuster Video's top 10 NES video game results for this month are...
Gamepro is back. If you're looking for proof that the world of video games just keeps getting more incredible, wait until you get a load of this. This is Virtuality, the virtual reality entertainment system by Spectrum Holobyte. Now, this little coin-operated machine is the first of its kind, and it is designed to toss you into a true-to-life world simulated by the computer by using what they call a stereoscopic images system. Now, this means it produces 3D like you've never seen it before. You see, when you physically turn your head like this, what you see on screen moves and looks just like what you would see if you turned your head in reality like I did. If I were to say this is awesome, let me tell you something. It just wouldn't cover it. Now, Virtuality comes in two different hardware configurations. One is a personal arena setup where you stand in an elevated platform, put on a head-mounted display, and hold on to a controller. Now, the other, it's a sit-down unit where you sit in a cockpit, put a head-mounted display on, and use a steering wheel or two-hand controllers. This thing is sweet. Keeping in mind the hefty price tag of $60,000 for the stand-up and $55,000 for the sit-down version, I think you'll agree that you'll probably won't be playing this incredible system at home. You'll be most likely playing it at the arcade. And do bring a lot of quarters, because with a price tag like that, the gameplay will not come cheap. Here's a look at one of the first games you'll be able to find in this system in the arcades. My favorite is Dactyl Nightmare, a two-player cyberspace shootout that uses the stand-up Virtuality unit. Players are armed with pistols that look and function like those good old spring-loaded toy guns that shoot those suction-tipped darts. You know what I'm talking about. The players stalk each other through a weird world of pillars, checkered platforms, and archways. This thing is tough. You will want to watch out for that giant pterodactyl, though, because it swoops down to grab unsuspecting players, flies high, and then drops the player on the floor below. Now, what I particularly like is what happens when the dactyl grabs you. Remember, your point of view is realistic, so you can look around helplessly or look down to see your feet and the onrushing ground rising to smash you. Unbelievable! Now, the future of this system is even more incredible than what we have now. The company promises to introduce a series of Virtuality games called the Electronic Battlefield Series, which consists of multi-system flight simulators. Now, if you're wondering how good these might be, let me just tell you one thing. The company who produces Virtuality just happens to be a leading supplier of advanced flight simulator software for the U.S. Air Force. Not bad, huh? I'm talking about the real thing. So, if you're looking for the cutting edge, I think it's safe to say that Virtuality is about as far out on the edge as a gamer can hope to get. You know, when I think about it, it seems like just about everyone is a fan of Simon Belmont, the hero in the popular Castlevania series. But you gotta know that defeating Drac is a long and difficult chore. So, we thought you might like to see how it goes when Belmont makes it to Dracula's lair and puts an end to the Dracmeister in Super Castlevania 4 for the Super Nintendo. Check it out. In order to whip your way straight to the Count's chambers, enter your name as Quan, Q-U-A-N. Then, punch in the following password. In the A1 position, a heart. In the A2 position, an axe. In the B2 position, enter in a potion. Now, in the B3 position, enter in an axe. In B4 position, an axe. In C4, an axe. In D1, a heart. And in D2, a heart. When you arrive at Drax's inner sanctum, you need to make a few moves to prepare for the big showdown. If you take a leap of faith to the left, you'll land on an invisible platform. Take one more leap and a shower of items will power you up with an extended whip, shot multiplier, 99 hearts, and a few other goodies. Now, you have to retrace your steps to the beginning of this stage, and you're ready for combat. During the first phase of combat with the Drac Man, whip his big energy bolt, then jump over the two tiny shots and strike him in the head. Perfect, right in the head. Now, in the second phase of combat against the Count, when Drax summons fire creatures who chase after Simon's hide, diagonal snap Drac in the head and use your whip to dispatch the living infernos. Finally, when the Dragster summons lightning from the heavens above, weave in between the bolts and give him the old 1-2. That's a boomerang and then a lash to the head. Nice. Oh, you got him. Now watch the sunlight bury the Count. Oh, beautiful. And Castlevania crumbles as Simon becomes Transylvania's greatest hero, and the credits roll.
Secret weapons and tactics.
Whoa! If it's action-adventure you like, then you gotta get busy on Shatterhand for the NES. With all the cybernetic street battles our hero Steve Herman has to survive, a little practice wouldn't be such a bad thing. Well, here's a trick that'll let you test your skills against all the boss opponents in the game, not to mention an opportunity to hear some totally hot tunes. At the title screen, punch the following buttons: AA, AA, BBBB, AB, 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 AB. You are in, and that, my metal-clad friends, is an opportunity you only get when you watch Gamepro. Looking good. Oh, watch it. Why don't we do that one more time? First, get into the title screen. Now hit A 4 times, so it's AA, AA. Then hit B 4 times, BB, BB. Then hit the combination of A, then B 4 more times. AB, 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 and AB. That's it. Practice to your metallic heart's content. Every now and then we like to break out the classics and give you a tip that might bring a little new life to an older game. Here's one for Super Mario Bros. 3 for the NES. Now you'll recall that in Super Mario 3, Mario and Luigi are flying aces in the sky. With this tip, they'll be even better pilots. Now all you have to do is beat Bowser one time. Now when you start over again, you'll be stocked up with a full inventory of awesome P-Wings. Use them to fly and help Mario and Luigi boldly go where no Mario has gone before. Again, simply beat Bowser once. When you start over again, you'll be loaded with P-Wings to keep you flying throughout the game. Fly, be free! Don't go away. Gamepro will be back with a viewer tip to get you in on the World Series on Bases Loaded 2 after these messages.
Hello, Gamepro viewers. I'm Mark Lennon from Venice, and I've developed a hot new tip for Bases Loaded 2 for Nintendo. Each one starts you in the World Series. To play as New Jersey against Los Angeles, type in O-S-M-T-B-W-L. That's it. You're ready to step up to the plate.
Solid tip, bud, but I think you need a haircut. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. I had a great time. I hope you did, too. You know something? I'm going to give you an opportunity to write us. Tell us what you think. Maybe you got a hot tip or tactic. Here's the address. Send it to GamePro TV, P.O. Box 3329, Redwood City, California, 94064. So, until next week, I am J.D. Ross. Peace. Take care. We out of here. Whoa!
Hi, I'm Regis Phillips.
And I'm Kathy Lee Gifford. Join us for the next live when our guests include funny man Joe Piscopo and Jenna Van Oy from Blossom.
Later in the week, a different worlds, Kadeem Hardison, George Carlin, and Weird Al Yankovic.
On live. Monday at 9.
Right here on Channel 7.